Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamunatiravanachari. Jamunatiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Satara Satashi Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nantakoti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Shri Maipur Dham Ki Jai, Shrimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 16. Krishna chastises the serpent Kaliya, text 45. And we will also do 46 today. Nama Krishnaya Ramaya Vasudeva Sutaya Cha Pradyumnaya Nirudhaya Sattvatam Pataye Namaha. Nama Krishnaya Ramaya Vasudeva Sutaya Cha Pradyumnaya Nirudhaya Sattvatam Pataye Namaha. Nama Krishnaya Ramaya Sudeva Sutaya Cha Pradyumna Nirudhaya Sattvatam Pataye Namaha. Krishnaya Ramaya Vasudeva Sutaya Cha Pradyumnaya Nirudhaya Sattvatam Pataye Namaha. Nama Krishnaya Ramaya Vasudeva Sutaya Cha Anirudhaya Sattvatam Pataye Namaha. Nama Krishnaya Ramaya Sudeva Sutaya Cha Pradyumna Anirudhaya Sattvatam Pataye Namaha. Namaha. Obeisances. Krishnaya, to Lord Krishna. Ramaya, to Lord Rama. Vasudeva Sutaya, the son of Vasudev. Cha, and Pradyumnaya, to Lord Pradyumna. Anirudhaya, to Lord Aniruddha. Sattvatam, of the devotees. Pataye, to the Lord. Namaha, obeisances. Translation. We offer our obeisances to Lord Krishna and Lord Rama, the sons of Vasudev, and to Lord Pradyumna and Lord Aniruddha. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the Master of all the saintly devotees of Vishnu. We can, oh. We'll repeat now. We offer our obeisances to Lord Krishna and Lord Rama, the sons of Vasudev, and to Lord Pradyumna and Lord Aniruddha. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the Master of all the saintly devotees of Vishnu. So this verse does not have a purport, but I will just read one of the commentaries on this verse. So Srila Jiva Goswami is saying that by mentioning all the names, the wives of Kaliya indicate that Krishna includes the whole Chaturvyuha as his assistants: Balaram, Vasudev, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna. By mentioning Krishna separately, the wives of Kaliya also reject that he is the son of Vasudev. Mentioning Rama, they indicate Sankarshan. They also indicate all the Yadavas by mentioning Pradyumna and Aniruddha, and indicate the Pandavas and Ramachandra, son of Dasharath, by mentioning of the son of Vasudev. So basically, by the acharyas are saying by all these names, the wives of Kaliya are mentioning Krishna, Balaram, the Chaturvyuha, the Sattvatam, all the devotees, and the Yadavas. In this way, they're offering their obeisances. It reminds us of Queen Kunti's prayer also. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha. So we will move on to text 46, which has a purport, and then we will talk more on this verse, text 46. Namo guna pradipaya gunatma chadanaya cha gunavrityupalakshyaya gunadrashtre svasamvide. Translation. Obeisances to you, O Lord, who manifest varieties of material and spiritual qualities. You disguise yourself with the material qualities, and yet the functioning of those same material qualities ultimately reveals your existence. You stand apart from the material qualities as a witness and can be fully known only by your devotees. Purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The word guna conveys various meanings. The three basic qualities of material nature, that is goodness, passion, and ignorance. Excellent qualities one manifests because of piety and spiritual achievement, or the internal senses such as the mind and intelligence. The word pratipaya means unto him who manifests or illumines. Thus here, the Nagapatnis are addressing the Supreme Lord as he who manifests all material and spiritual qualities and who causes the living entities to be conscious. One can see the Lord by going beyond the screen of material nature, and therefore he is called Gunatma Chadanaya. If one methodically and intelligently studies the functioning of the material qualities, he will ultimately conclude that there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that he exhibits his illusory potency to bewilder those who do not surrender unto him. The Lord is never affected by the modes of nature, being their witness, and thus he is called Guna Drashtre. The word Sva indicates one's own, and thus Sva Samvide means that Lord Krishna can be known only by his own people, the devotees, and also that ultimately only the Lord can know himself perfectly. Therefore, we should take Lord Krishna's instructions in Bhagavad Gita and immediately come to the right conclusion, full surrender to the Lord's lotus feet. Thus we should humbly glorify the Lord, following the example of the Nagapatnis. Namo guna pradipaya gunatma chadanaya cha gunavrityupalakshyaya gunadrashtre svasamvide. Obeisances to you, O Lord, who manifest varieties of material and spiritual qualities. You disguise yourself with the material qualities, and yet the functioning of those same material qualities ultimately reveals your existence. You stand apart from the material qualities as a witness and can be fully known only by your devotees. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Charu Swami Tinamane. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Desha Tarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Before I begin, I just want to request blessings from Maharaj and all the Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas, and everyone present here to please bless me that I can speak a few words on this beautiful verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's very humbling to be sitting here in front of senior Vaishnavas, but I see it as a service, and hopefully that I'll get some mercy from Maharaj and all the devotees here. So, as Maharaj was saying yesterday, these prayers of, or was it Wednesday? The prayers of the Nagapatnis are amazing. It's if someone says that women are less intelligent, they have to think twice, because these these prayers are just incredible. That you could spend a lifetime just studying these prayers, and you can go in depth. And that's what the acharyas, when you read the acharyas' commentaries on these, they go in so much depth in each of these verses. So actually I was meditating how Srimad Bhagavatam is made up of is actually made mostly of prayers. Like most of it is prayers of devotees to Krishna. And by reading these prayers, we get an insight on the mood that we need to develop, and it opens our heart to developing that mood towards loving Krishna. So here in text 46, in each of the lines, the word guna is used. Namo guna pradipaya, gunatma chadanayacha, guna vritya upalakshaya, guna drashtre samvide. So guna, guna, guna. Each of the 4 lines, guna, is being used. And as it's described in the purport, guna can mean qualities, the 3 modes of material nature that we know, the 3 gunas. It can also mean like qualities, it says, of piety or spiritual achievement, or it can mean the internal senses. It can also mean rope, as we know. Guna is like, we know that we are bound in this world by the ropes of the modes of material nature. And so I'm going to speak a little bit about each of the 4 lines and the meaning of each of those guna pradipaya, gunatma chadanayacha, guna vritti upalakshaya, and then the last line. So each of the lines. And it's interesting because we can talk about these in so many multi-levels. Reading the commentaries on this verse, there's one level is seeing how Krishna manifests his qualities and how he disguises himself by those same qualities, and he manifests himself again. And another interesting, deeper level that the acharyas go to is that guna means rope. And we know the Damodar Leela, they mention Damodar Leela. And Krishna is bound by the ropes of love of his devotees. So he shows that he is bound by the love of his devotees. And at the same time, Chadanaya, he hides that because he doesn't easily show that he's vulnerable or he is bound by love of his devotees. So there's so many different levels that we could analyze or speak about this verse. But I will start first on the kind of the level that is mentioned here in the purport about how Krishna is manifesting his qualities in this world. So first is guna pratipaya. Krishna manifests various qualities. And in the purport, so pratipaya means manifest or illumines. So in the purport, it's mentioned that he manifests all material and spiritual qualities. Which at first I was confused. How is Krishna manifesting material qualities and spiritual qualities? But as I am understanding it, is that he is everything is the emanation from Krishna, the material world, the spiritual world. So he has the material energy and the spiritual energy. So everything comes from Krishna. So he's manifesting as both the material and the spiritual qualities. And as Krishna mentions in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am, in one sense, everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me. And then he goes on to say that, deluded by these modes, the whole world does not know me, as I'm beyond these modes. And then later, in text 28, or text 25, the famous verse, Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrita mudo yam nabijanati loko mam ajam avyayam. I'm never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. So here's Krishna's he is telling that he manifests this material qualities, the gunas. At the same time, he's never underneath the gunas. And that comes to the next point here, which is gunatma chadanaya cha, which is the second line. Chadanaya means who disguises or covers. So Krishna reserves the right of not revealing himself to everybody. And so this is the next point that I would like to speak about. So that was Naham Prakasha Sarvasya. I'm never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them I'm covered by my potency, my internal potency. And that's very similar to the verse of Queen Kunti, where she says that Krishna is covered just like he's beyond the range of our sense perception, and he is covered by his deluding energy, and is invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. And another place she says a curtain of the deluding energy. So that is about the second line, Gunatma Chadanaya Cha. Krishna can disguise himself. And then the third line is Guna Vritti Upalakshyaya, which is very, very interesting. In the translation, it says, you disguise yourself with the material qualities. So with this same material, he disguises himself with those qualities, yet the functioning of those same material qualities ultimately reveals your existence. So that's very interesting. So the same qualities can reveal Krishna's existence. It made me think how the material nature is so wonderfully moving and so organized that it can be seen, like the person people who do not believe in God can use that as a way of saying, oh, it's just automatic. It just, they can see that as a way of disproving that God exists. And someone else can see the perfect organization of nature and see, wow, that just shows that there's a Supreme Lord. So here it depends on the consciousness. Here it's saying, yet the functioning of those same material qualities ultimately reveals your existence. So in that same 7th chapter, Krishna mentions persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. So as one progresses in that devotional service, and slowly, then one can see that everything in this material nature is actually coming from Krishna. and Krishna reveals himself. And that's why those verses in Bhagavad Gita where it's mentioned, I am the heat in fire, I am the light of the sun, the sun is like the eye of Krishna, the taste of water, that a devotee eventually sees everything as coming from Krishna, and Krishna's behind everything. So that's how it, that is how a devotee can actually see everything as coming from Krishna, and Krishna behind everything. Now, I would like to focus a little bit more about this line, Vritti Upalakshaya, how Krishna can be revealed and how he reveals himself. And I was meditating on the word revelation, and I actually looked it up in the dictionary, and it says a surprising and previously unknown fact, especially one that is made known in a dramatic way, making known of something that was previously secret or unknown, and a divine supernatural disclosure. So, and it comes from veil, velum. So velum is veil, like we know a veil, like covers the head, or like a curtain. And unveiling, basically unveiling, so opening up and reversing that curtain, or uncovering. So that's revelation. So we can't force Krishna to reveal himself to us, but Krishna reveals himself when he sees the bhakti, when he sees that we have a desire to know him. And it's like that in any relationship in this world. We can't force somebody to reveal themselves to us or to open their hearts to us. It's a gradual process, and it takes both sides to it. It's a trust on both sides. Like Krishna wants to see, can I trust you that I can reveal myself to you? And then also, we're also learning, can I trust Krishna to depend on him and really surrender to him? So it's works both ways. Krishna says in 1154, Bhaktya tvananya shaktya aham evam vidorjuna gyatum jashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. And then in 1855 he says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyaschasmi tatvataha tato mam tatvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. One can understand me as I am, as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So to understand more about this, how Krishna reveals himself, I was thinking about three personalities from the Shastra, and just kind of meditating on how Krishna revealed himself to them and the process of how that happened. Because when we read the Shastra, the stories of these great personalities, then we get inspiration in our own progress. So the first is Arjuna, of course, when Arjuna asks to see the universal form, which is quite interesting because he's seeing Krishna's two-handed form, but he's asking to see the universal form. And he says, if you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. And in the purport, Prabhupada says, it is said that one can neither see, hear, understand, nor perceive the Supreme Lord Krishna by the material senses. But if one is engaged in loving transcendental service to the Lord from the beginning, then one can see the Lord by revelation. Every living entity is only a spiritual spark. Therefore, it is not possible to see or to understand the Supreme Lord. Arjuna, as a devotee, does not depend on his speculative strength. Rather, he admits his limitations as a living entity and acknowledges Krishna's inestimable position. Arjuna could understand that for a living entity, it is not possible to understand the unlimited infinite. If the infinite reveals himself, then it is possible to understand the nature of the infinite by the grace of the infinite. So it's a revelation. That's the same point. So we cannot force. So that's So this is the mood of prayer that comes up when I was thinking about this. Arjuna is requesting Krishna, please, if you think that I'm able to behold your form, please reveal it to me. So that's the first step, is the mood of wanting it and asking Krishna and begging for that. And it also reminds us of the verse of Ishopanishad, where verse 15, Hiranmayena Patrena, that your real face is covered by your external energy. Please remove that covering and show yourself to your devotee. So that's the first point that I was thinking of, having that eagerness and prayer, praying for that Krishna will reveal himself, knowing that it's not forced, it's not us that can make Krishna show himself to us. We have to be in that mood of humility, actually, realizing I'm just tiny, and how, I don't have the power to know Krishna, actually. But if he wants, he can show himself to me, and I'm just going to continue to try to serve him. And in relation to this, when I was talking about the relationship, how relationship is a gradual, to develop a close bond with somebody, it takes time, and it takes trust on both sides. And I was thinking how when we are vulnerable, that's when the relationship can actually open up. But when we have this facade of like, oh, I am this, I am that, then it's hard for people to get to know us, because we have this, we put up a veil over, like a same thing, a veil. Like, so on our side, if we can remember that we're just a tiny little jiva, and we're just part and parcel of Krishna, and when we're in that position, that mood of understanding that, then we can really beg and cry for Krishna and really ask for him to reveal himself to us. And then second person that I wanted to mention here was Narada Muni. So when Narada Muni was a little boy, he got the association of the great sages and his mother died when he was only 5 years old, and he took that as an opportunity to completely surrender to Krishna. So he went into the forest. He was passing by all these dangerous forests and beautiful metropolises and mines and everything. He just kept walking and walking, and finally he sat under a banyan tree and he began meditating on Lord Krishna. And it's mentioned that very soon Krishna revealed himself to him and revealed himself in his heart. And he could see the form of Krishna, and all of his senses were enlivened to see Krishna, and he was so completely enlivened. And all of a sudden, Krishna disappeared. And he stood up, and he was anxiously looking around. I desired to see again that transcendental form of the Lord, but despite my attempts to concentrate upon the heart with eagerness to view the form again, I could not see him anymore, and thus dissatisfied, I was very much aggrieved. And Prabhupada says, there's no mechanical process to see the form of the Lord. It completely depends on the causeless mercy of the Lord. We cannot demand the Lord to be present before our vision, just as we cannot demand the sun to rise whenever we like. The sun rises out of his own accord. So also the Lord is pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy. One should simply await the opportune moment and go on discharging his prescribed duty in devotional service of the Lord. So this is the second thing that I was meditating on, is to have patience and go through. At the same time we have eagerness, like that prayerful mood. Oh, Krishna, I really want you. And at the same time there's patience, because we know that ultimately it's up to Krishna. So it's not up to us. It's not a mechanical process. And when he sees our sincere attempt, then out of his mercy he will reveal himself. And the third personality was Dhruva Maharaj. So this is a very beautiful section. When Dhruva Maharaj is meditating, he went to the forest for a completely different purpose. He wasn't going for really having a revelation or getting to know Krishna. It was more he wanted to get something from Krishna. But he followed the instructions of his spiritual master, and Krishna appeared before him. And when he saw Krishna, again, it's similar to Narada Muni. He was completely stunned in ecstasy, and he couldn't even speak and offer any prayers. He's only a little boy, 5 years old again. He wanted to offer some prayers in suitable language, but because he was inexperienced, he could not adjust himself immediately. And I could relate to that, because sometimes that happens where we can't really, we want to, speak something like right now, and sometimes we can't get the words out because but Krishna's so kind. Krishna is situated in everyone's heart, and he could understand Dhruva's awkward position. So out of his causeless mercy, he touched his conch shell to Dhruva's head. And as soon as he did that, Dhruva could speak some words. So this is very, very beautiful. At that time, Dhruva Maharaj became perfectly aware of the Vedic conclusion and understood the absolute truth and his relationship with all living entities. So immediately he got a whole revelation. And Prabhupada in the purport mentions a few things. One is that one cannot understand simply by academic learning of the Vedas. It's not so important how learned you are. And that's not what Krishna is looking for. What he's looking for is implicit faith in the Lord and his devotees, in the spiritual master, and then the imports of the Vedas are revealed. And the second thing is coming under the shelter of the spiritual energy. So as soon as Krishna touched him with the conch shell, Dhruva was transferred under the shelter of the spiritual energy, as Prabhupada mentions here. He could understand. It's just like a sleeping person wakes up and can see what's happening. So when Dhruva Maharaj therefore found this difference within himself, he could immediately understand that it was because of the causeless mercy of the Lord. He offered obeisances to the Lord with great respect and reverence, completely understanding that the Lord's favor was upon him. This spiritual enlivenment of Dhruva Maharaj's senses and mind was due to the action of the internal potency of the Lord. In this verse, therefore, the word svadhamna means by spiritual energy. Spiritual enlightenment is possible by the mercy of the spiritual energy of the Lord. The chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is the first address to the spiritual energy of the Lord, Hare. This spiritual energy acts when a living entity fully surrenders and accepts its position as an eternal servitor. So right now we are under the shelter of Maya. Maharaj was making a point one of these classes also that we don't have it's not like there's a middle, like either we're in Maya or in Yoga Mahamaya or in Yoga Maya. So when we're under the shelter of Mahamaya, we're covered by that curtain of illusion. And when we're under the shelter of Yoga Maya, then things are revealed. Our senses are enlivened. And at that time, when we render service with those purified senses, then Krishna is revealed to us, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi, if he so desires. So in those three examples, Arjuna asking Krishna to reveal himself, and then Narada Muni patiently understanding. Krishna said, I'm actually not showing myself anymore. I've withdrawn myself to increase your eagerness. So Narada Muni had to wait and intensify that eagerness by that patience, by waiting. And then the third example, Dhruva Maharaj, coming under the shelter of the internal energy by, we can come under the shelter of the internal energy by chanting the holy name, picking up Srimad Bhagavatam, coming in contact with the devotees, all these ways, and engaging ourselves in the service of the Lord and the devotees. So all these examples help us see what's the processes of how to develop that relationship with Krishna and how it opens up slowly and Krishna reveals himself. It's a dynamic relationship, and hearing about Krishna, the more we hear about Krishna, the more we develop that love for him and trust in him also. And the more we can open up our heart and have more eagerness to get to know him. And then the more Krishna sees that we are trying and we're eager to know him, the more he reveals himself. And then the more he reveals himself, the more we want to know him more. So it's like a step-by-step process, but a beautiful journey in that process. And Krishna sometimes will cover himself just to increase our eagerness and then reveal himself again. So we'll leave a few minutes here if anybody has any points to add or any comments. Yeah. Oh, 20 seconds, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Hare Krishna. As I said in the beginning, it's a very humbling experience. But thank you for your blessings, Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, yes, yes. The Damodar Leela is there too, yeah.